Welcome to Sports Betting Truth, where it is my goal to give you actual sports betting advice without the touting, shilling, hype, or false promises. Now, college football is finally here. It starts tomorrow. It's Friday, August 23rd. I can't wait. I'm heading off to Las Vegas early tomorrow morning for Week 0 and Week 1. It's going to be a fun week. Now, I'm going to go over my Week 0 college football picks today. I don't know how I'm going to do this weekly picks segment for college football going forward. I haven't done it before. Obviously, with only 2 games on the slate, it's a little bit easier to come up with a video. But when there's, 50 or 60 games on the same week, I won't have time, obviously, to be able to do a breakdown of every single matchup. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I can. But as of right now, I don't know if the format I'm doing this video today is going to be the same going forward. It's definitely not going to be the same next week with Week 1 because I got something special planned for Week 1. But Week 2 onward, we'll see how it goes. I'll play it by ear. So let's get started. So the first game on the docket is going to be Miami and Florida, playing at a neutral site in Orlando. The spread as of right now is 7. And the money line is 230 for Miami, minus 280 for Florida. Now, I think this line is razor sharp. This is what I call the indicator tab of my model right here. It shows all the indicators that I look at that my model outputs that I use to bet. Now, the indicators that are in bold and bigger text, those are what I call the leading indicators. Those are the indicators I use to make decisions on. The non-bolded, smaller text ones, those are more secondary indicators that are used more as like guidelines or assistance, or they're complementary to the main indicators. I don't use them to make decisions off of. I just use them to help explain the key indicators. But that's not saying that they're not important. They are important. They just aren't used for pure decision making. Now, I have my model split off 3 different ways. I have the margin, which is simply what the model predicts the margin will be. I have the cover. This is more of a Monte Carlo run where it estimates the percentage each team is going to cover. And then the money line percent, that's just the Monte Carlo run of wins and losses measured against the money line actual percentage. So even though I have these key indicators, they're split off 3 different ways, and all 3 of them are important. Now, I use the first 2 to make spread bets, and then I use this one to make money line bets. The thing that jumps out to me here for the Miami and Florida game is how razor sharp the line is. Now, my blender algorithm in margin favors Miami. The ATM algorithm favors Florida. When they're combined, it's as close as 0 as you can get, right on the nose. So if this were any other week of the year, besides Week 0 or Week 1, because those 2 weeks every year I go crazy, but if I was sticking to my disciplined, methodical approach that I use Weeks 2 onward, I would just leave this game alone. I wouldn't even play it. But since it's Week 0 and it's my tradition to play every Week 1 game, if I was forced to make a play right now based on this, I don't know. That's how sharp the line is, right? Florida has all the secondary indicators in their favor, but Miami is more favored on the cover indicators and the blender, which is a big deal. So you just can't discount that. But because all the secondary indicators favor Florida, I would probably bet them right now. But if this line moved to 7.5, I would jump on Miami. So let's hypothetically say this line moved to 7.5. Okay, now things are tilting towards Miami a little bit more. The money line stays the same. If I were to make a money line bet on this game, it would be Florida, but at minus 280, that's probably too high of juice for me to feel comfortable with. As it stands, when I get to South Point tomorrow, probably around 1 o'clock, if the line is 7 or lower, I'm going to be on Florida. If the line is 7.5 or higher, I will be on Miami. That's how it's going to be. But this is a razor sharp line. If you're not like me and you're actually trying to take a disciplined approach tomorrow, don't play this game. Just enjoy it and avoid betting on it. Moving on to the nightcap in Honolulu, we got Arizona and Hawaii. Arizona, as of right now, August 23rd, 1:46 p.m., is an 11-point favorite on the road. Now, this is a little bit more clear-cut according to my model. So all the key indicators are pointing towards Hawaii, so I will be on Hawaii tomorrow if the spread stays the same. Arizona has a few of the secondary indicators, but the less important ones. And for money line, Hawaii has most of the key indicators here. So if I were to make a play on this at 11, if I could go into South Point or wherever right now and play this at 11, I would bet 80% of my unit size on the spread and 20% on the Hawaii money line. This one's pretty cut and dry. I feel pretty good about this. So let's say the line drops to 9.5. It can happen between now and tomorrow. Now things get a little bit more tricky. Now the key indicators are favoring Arizona. So what is our inflection point here? It looks like our inflection point is about 10. Anything 10 or higher, I'm going to be on Hawaii. Anything in the single digit range, it's going to be Arizona. That's our inflection point. And as long as the money line stays north of 300, it's going to be Hawaii. So I think this one's pretty cut and dry. Even if this were week 2 and onward, I would be on Hawaii tomorrow most likely because I see value in them. But to recap, tomorrow week 0, Florida at -7 or lower, it's going to be Florida, otherwise Miami. Hawaii, anything double digits, it's going to be Hawaii, otherwise Arizona. And then a little bit on the Hawaii money line as long as it stays north of 300. So that wraps up my week 0 picks video. Again, I don't know if the format going forward is going to be just like this every week, but we'll see what I can do. I'll play it by ear. But I'm going to be in Las Vegas starting tomorrow for week 0 and week 1. So stay tuned. I got a lot of college football oriented material coming your way. Until next time, this is Sports Betting Truth signing off.